All right, listeners, now it's time for the CVOL movers and shakers. Let's dive right into it this week. Not a lot of time to waste. And vol, again, a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them are popping. Some of them are falling off a cliff. Let's find out which is which. Let's kick it off in the energy CVOL, listeners. 63.79 right now. Up exactly 2 points on the day. So energy vol popping. When we get to energy a little bit later on the show, we'll probably see why. Crude oil probably delivering a good lift there. On the week, that is the high for the week. The low, 59.16, so a wide range on the week for energy vol. Coming in right below it, we have the aggregate commodities CVOL. About a 41 right now, up almost a full point, about 0.9 points just today. That is also the high for the week, so 2 for 2 now, pinning the needle to the upside on the CVOL front. The low was 39.16 earlier this week. Below it, are we 3 for 3? The answer is yes. The ag products CVOL, 19.69 right now, up 0.53 today. That is the high for the week. The low, 18.63, so over a point range in the ag products CVOL this week. So all of you have been saying ags have been left behind on this trade war. The CVOL would beg to differ. Below that, we have the Treasury price vol, 7.8 today, kind of unched on the day right now. On the week, though, it's had a hell of a range. That is the high for the week, the low 7.38, so almost exactly a half-point range in Treasury price vol. You know, if you've been watching Treasuries for a while, they don't tend to move a half a point in vol every week. So that's a pretty big move, especially when you're starting from a baseline of around 7 points. Below it, we have the FX CVOL, 10.53, off about a quarter of a point today. The range for the week, that is pretty much the low for the week, the high 10.88, so FX vol going the other way, pinning the needle to the downside right now. What about metals? Metals right below it, listeners. The metals CVOL, 22.32, off 0.61 just today, so metals vol crashing back to earth today. That is also the low level for the week, the high 25.32, so exactly a 3-point range for metals vol this week. Again, that's a big range for metals, so we'll keep an eye on that complex. And then bringing up the rear this week, we have the Treasury yield vol, 142.04, off 1 3/4 points just today, hanging out towards the upper end of its range for the week. The range for the week, listeners, 134.58 to the downside, 143 3/4 to the upside. Obviously hanging out right now close to that upper band at 142, pretty much even out there, listeners. And that's your CVOL report for this week.